Hello again, everyone. I was recently asked, after doing a card where I bisected the front panel with a sentiment die and just embossed the lower half, or part, it wasn't a half actually, whether we could do it with different kinds of dies, maybe with a leaf die, flower die, whatever, trailing die, a border die, or a little embellishment die. So I thought I would just have a go. This one just about fits like this. So I thought perhaps we could do that. The same thing, works with this one or this one. They're long enough to bisect a front panel of this fairly small card. The card base itself is half a sheet of A4, British A4, cut down the length and tent folded with a panel cut, which is just slightly smaller. Okay, so what I thought I'd do this time is something slightly different. Rather than cutting one piece and embossing one part, I would cut two different coloured cards and what's the word? Interject one with the other? No, whatever. Put one red with white and one white with red. So this is the little die I thought I would use. I believe this is a memory box. I think I have this one and one either smaller or larger, I can't remember which way. But if we want to put the two together and we want a bit of the red to fit, the top of the red to fit with the bottom of the white and vice versa, this must be placed in exactly the right place. So what I do is this. I put one piece of card over the top of the other. Now this die is not going to be able to cut through both layers successfully, but we could have it straight, couldn't we? It will be able to cut through the top one and etch the bottom one with the lines. So let me just show you what I'm going to do. I intend putting this onto my plate with these two pieces exactly on top of each other. And I've just got to decide whether I want this I can have it at an angle. I think an angle would be quite nice, a bit jaunty, wouldn't it? So let's just make sure they're absolutely in line. In fact, I'm going to put some low-tack tape on to make sure that they are in line. Right, if I put this on one end and then die cut from the other end, it won't get squished in the die cutting machine. So if I put this across like this, looks quite nice, I think. And I'm going to put a bit of tape onto this too, just so that it doesn't move. Oops. Oh, there's a double layer there for some reason. Right, now I'm going to cut from this direction up. Is that all right? Just come down a bit. Just a bit over that way. It's just about reaches the edges. Okay, I think that's right. Now I'm going to cut from this direction. I'm not going to go as far as that, and then I'll come back. So here we go. Let's cut this one out. Take a look. Okay, peel this off carefully. Go. And this side. Okay. Now hopefully my top panel will have been cut, but the bottom one probably won't. Yes, my top one been cut, and there's the piece. If I can get it off. There it is. The bottom one, not quite right through. So I'm going to put this on again in exactly that position and just tape that to the board. Okay, I'm just going to go over this one more time. There we go. So that one has also been cut right the way through. Now, rather than just put a plain piece of red card with a plain piece of white card, that one is just joined at the side. So I'm going to have to just kind of nick that one. Just cut it because I need to separate the two pieces. After all my careful. There we go. There we are. Okay. Take this bit off. And that's been through so hard and it's pulled some of the thing off, but it's on the back, so we're fine. Not to worry. Okay, now what I want to do is to emboss this piece. Not dry emboss. I want to gold emboss, heat emboss. And I'm just wondering if I probably should have done that before I cut it. And I think I probably should. Thinking about it. Should I, shouldn't I? Not to worry, we'll do it now. It doesn't matter if it doesn't match up top to bottom because they're going to be on two separate cards. I will put a piece of this in behind because I don't want to... Actually, I don't need that, do I? I'm going to be using a rubber stamp, I think. So, no, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use a sticky mat. I'm going to pop this on here. And this on there, like that. Okay. Because I can't put a magnet down because I want to stamp over the entirety. So, I have a whole host of background stamps that I could use on this project. Don't know quite what would suit. That leaves and berries is rather nice. I think I might try this one. Right. If that goes... Is it going to cover all of it? Let me put it a little bit closer. And then it definitely will cover all of it. As I say, it doesn't matter because they're going to be on two separate cards. I think that's over all of it. Okay. Pick up the stamp. As she said, pick up the stamp. Let me put a bit of glue stick on that. It doesn't want to join too happily. Let's just see if we can give it a little bit of help. Okay. There we go. Right. Next is the Versamark. I'm going to ink this up. I suppose it's quite nice really if strange things happen when I'm doing my videos, so that if something like that happens to you, you may well have seen the pitfalls and know what to do about it. I'm just going to give this a bit of a rub over with my little tea light holder. Actually it is a little alabaster tea light holder, but it's quite weighty. I just put a piece of felt on the bottom, but it's easier to smooth over there than it is to rub with my hand. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, I'll put this on one side. Now I'm going to use a piece of paper behind this while I put the gold embossing powder on. And then we will heat set it. Here's some gold. Looks like rather a lot, but it's all going to go back in the pot, so we won't waste anything. Looks okay. Pop this back into the pot, and then we will heat set that. Isn't that pretty? Let's do the other piece. Right. Now, I think we can either pop one of these back in or cut another one for the top layer. I think it might be rather nice to be actually a gold one. So let's have our white, plain white piece. The magnet was holding that on. I wonder why I couldn't separate it. This just needs another little snip like that the other one did. There we go. I probably should have got the angle just a little more straight on, and then it would have just about reached. Okay, so this is the one to go on here. Like that. So you can either have it that way up or the other way up. And we've got another one to go with it. So now I'll just join these pieces together. I have this is just a piece of silicone mat because I wanted to keep that still and I wanted to protect my surface. So this is a bit of old kitchen surface mat, really. So that's what I used there. So let me put a piece of tape across the back of this. This is just regular sticky tape. Oh, it's not quite long enough. Put another little piece on. I'm just going to wipe this surface. It feels a little bit embossing powder-ish. Just wipe this. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to put the white piece in. Here it is. And to pop this into there. And stick it to that tape. Okay. Now I'm going to add this piece of white. We're going to put this one in as well. There we go. I'm going to trim the tape from the side. And because we cut them out virtually together, they do actually fit exactly down the sides. That's the reason for doing that little particular thing. So I'll just finish one of these. I've got a bit of gold here, so we can cut another one of these out from this. And I'm just wondering what the best way to attach it is. There are several ways. You could cut it, glue it, cut it with some double-sided tape on the back, cut it, use micro dots. I think today I'm just going to use a bit of glue, so we'll just see how we go with this one. So I'll cut out this flourish once more. Here it is. Do you know, I don't like the way that's done that. That's, oh, I tell you why. I tell you why. That still had, I thought I couldn't see the red one. The red one was still inside. So this one has got kind of, I'm going to cut it again. Should have checked. That wasn't very clever, Christine, was it? Right, I was wondering why it was such a bumpy sort of finish. It was because it had another piece of cardboard inside it. Right, let's have another look. This is better. Look at the difference. Just look. That is rubbish. I'm sorry about that. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use glue and I'm going to put a trail. Here we are. There we go. Pretty. So you could put a sentiment on if you wish to. You could put, you could use it either way up, wouldn't matter. So another way of doing this type of card, but this time with a flourish. You can use, I say, anything, any die that will bisect a card. I mean, just a stitched edging die. This one is, I think, penny black and does a fancy bit. This one would look lovely as well, like this, with a, you know, contrast top and bottom. The only thing with this one you'd have to be careful of is making sure you don't lose the little cutout pieces, because you'd have to decide which piece from top or bottom you're going to use it from. Or if you did it with white, whatever, you could just dry emboss one side. So there we go, another sort of card that bisects a front panel. So quick and easy, quite time saving really, because you've got two for one. This one could fit in there. You have a white one that way up, like this. There we go. You may want to leave it just red. Who knows? So there you go. Another day, another card. Thank you for joining me, and do come and see me next time.